Hello, everyone. Good night. Hope everyone's okay. In this video, I want to talk about three things. One, the repeal of the IR35. For some people, depression. For some people like me, is okay. Who cares? Uh, Job market. Let's talk about that and like how it responded to the IR35 repeal. And third, what to do for that new job. Some of you are actually posting and saying, look, I want to know how to get into this cloud engineering, this career. I want to be able to be stepping away from where I am today and, get on to that career ladder of, going cloud and, trying to get on that case, that scene, that program. So let's cover all the three. Let's talk about IR35 repeal, U-turn, massive oversight. Yeah, it is massive oversight. According to this document here from this website, what is it called? Accountancy Age. The thing is, look, there's businesses out there that are suffering, due to lack of funds, lack of understanding about R35. And the thing is, a lot of companies out there like the idea of hiring short-term staff as a limited company because it ends up being more beneficial for the company to hire a contractor using, a limited company. I don't know the ins and outs. I'm not an accountant. I just know that that's the advantage. When I used to work for a bank who had a startup, back in 2019, when R35 was saying, yeah, we're definitely not looking to hire anyone anymore. When I was working in this bank outside of R35, underneath a limited company, you need to be as a permanent employee, and that's it. And their response to that is that, look, we can't afford to take the chance and be sued by HMRC or taken to court to HMRC because it will cost too much money. Even if they win, it will cost too much money because they're never getting the money back, was his response. And, what that basically meant was that they needed to train their internal staff quite quickly and rampant. But of course, like any other place that where you work, that meant that that staff would be able to move on from there. If they're getting paid 50, 75 grand and again trained up and getting the experience and getting bored, the best thing for them to do is leave. That's just the nature of IT. It's been like that for years. So what does a repeal mean? To be honest with you, there is this thing called surrender prayer. God's given me the wisdom to know the things I can change, and God's given me the wisdom to know the things I can't change. Guys, we can't change the government. We can't change HMRC. We can't change this. IR35 here is to stay. Even if there was to iron out some of the issues and stuff like that, to be honest with you, why project or burn your energy into that? What I do know is this. A lot of companies will probably want to be able to do work with a consultancy firm. And rather than go through a recruitment process and hire a contractor and talk to them, why don't we just talk to what's this? Thank you. Why don't we just talk to a consultancy firm? But then the question is, well, if we talk to a consultancy firm, can we afford them? We can afford a contractor, but a consultancy firm, not a chance. So a former consultancy firm, me and my partner, Jermaine, business partner, let's be clear. We started this company called Digital Track, and this is our response to IR35. I'm not going to wait until IR35 irons it out. No way, I'm going to take control of my own hands, which we all can, and be able to form a company where I can work as a consultant from a consultancy firm, right? Or hands-on, or wherever a customer wants, I'm going to be able to do it. But I do know this one thing, because we're a small company, we are going to be significantly cheaper than a larger firm. Like, I don't know, Capgemini, Atos, all these other big firms who will cost, for a person is like 1,200, 1,300 pounds a day. I'll probably charge less than half of that, or more. No, that's not common rates. Half. Let's go with half. Anyway, the point being is that this is my response to IR35. And the way how it's going to be set up, and just for everybody to know how you can set this up, you need a partner who's going to be doing the selling for you, who's going to pick the phones up or do the marketing. And you, if you're the technical person, basically get the work and be able to lead it, you know. And then the progression from there is that you should be able to say, right, I'm going to hire a contractor, and you're going to get those guys in to be able to do the work with you, for you, however you want. But that's the point. That's the point where you want to be. If you want to know how to repeal to the IR35, this is the way. Form your own company, you know, consultancy firm, or if you got a limited company right now, hire somebody in to be your sales rep, you know, and just do that. And that's it. That's my response to repeal of the IR35. Screw 'em. So what's the job market response to that? Now, the reason why I'm actually pointing to the job market is because what you find is that when the market have indicators of the growth that you actually see, meaning when we came across Brexit, when we came across, I can't remember what else, COVID and some other things, you will see there's immediate reaction within like the property market, where you'll see that, you know, the properties prices will go up, it'll go down, it'll stagnate, those kind of things. In the job market, you know, looking at, and you can see here, Azure Engineer, 1,028, that's going up. You know, I think when I first started these videos in the beginning of the year, it was like 1,000, that's 728. That's, you know, what's that, almost like 80% growth? Amazing, you know? So, and if my math is on, don't ridicule me, just do the math yourself and put a comment in there, okay? Was there an architect? Did I just look for that? No, there's just Azure Engineer that was looking for. 925, okay, so that's dipped a bit by 75, but you know, that's still high. And Azure, let's say security, all-time favorite. Love a little bit of security work. Whoa, that's increase. That's interesting. Lovely. But point being is that's there, it's increasing. What is that like for permanent? Well, let's take a look, shall we? 3,000. Wow, that's huge. That's a huge burst. And architect, what's that like as permanent work? Pretty good, 2,000. And engineer, just going reverse engineer myself, 6,000. Wow. Oh, look, check this out. Check this little cutie. Azure Cloud Engineer, 42 grand. Not a lot of money, but here's the advantage. A lot of people out there ask me, Jude, I want to get on the cloud. You know, I want to be able to get into the cloud ways of working. I want to be able to progress my career and everything. So this is the best way. Look, Azure Cloud Engineer, remote, 42 grand. If you are working in whatever field that you're doing now, you want to transition from wherever you're doing to cloud, this is the best way. Find yourself a junior role at 38 to 42 grand. Someone out there is going to give you a chance on giving you this career. And while you're actually doing the job at night, you got to sacrifice like 2 to 3 hours of learning for you to take in that career. Now, check this out. All right. Look at some of the books I bought. It just got Programmer's Brain, Infrastructure as Code, Patterns of Enterprise Application Architecture, Terraform. I've got like 20 other books I have that I've bought to read. The point I'm trying to make is that while you're working on this career and doing this job and everything of the sort, you need to be able to be also, you know, meeting to the standards of where you are. In other words, just dedicate yourself to it. Now, a lot of people are going to be asking, okay, well, you say dedicate, but how long is dedicate? Well, okay, so let's put it, for example, like this. If I'm doing anything in coding, like Terraform, if I want to learn how to Terraform, I'm going to write at least, are you going to spend 100 minutes learning Terraform, or are you going to write 100 lines of code? or both. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I need to be able to accelerate my learning curve. And committing to 100 minutes or 100 lines of code or 100 or whatever it takes. You know, like if I was reading, if my career required me to be reading about something, is 100 pages of that topic is what I'm going to commit to, or 100 minutes, whatever it takes. At least if I'm going to achieve 100 minutes or 100 pages or 100 lines of code, that's what it takes. That's what you have to do. Okay. And that's it, bottom line in the story. But let's see here. Let's digest this role for my people out there who are interested in doing cloud. I will suggest that you apply for this job, or you look for jobs very similar to this. Says what's this? A successful candidate will have a can-do attitude, be a team player, and have demonstrable Azure experience, whilst also bringing fresh ideas and perspectives to the table. Main duties, the team is responsible for hosted applications, assurance of availability, accordance with agreed service levels, SLAs. It's also responsible for maintaining the new Azure environment and any applications that sit within it. This role will also include assisting the migration of services from the current data center to the cloud. Ooh, this is exciting. This is a very good role. This is very good. Now, this is my take on this role. One, it's very cheap, meaning they really want to hire somebody who's going to be able to do this job, but they're going to hire someone on a very low wage. Reason being is because they're willing to compromise. You could come to the work, we'll offer you the job. You had a little bit of experience, but instead of giving you the full whack at 42, they'll probably give you at 39, 40. But what will happen is that you get to learn all this, and they're doing the migration. Very, very good. Very good experience. And the point I'm trying to make to anyone who's going to listen to this video, there's a ton of opportunity out there for you to just get your hands dirty and be able to gain the experience. And within 6 to 12 months, you know, you could do the higher hitting roles like 100 grand, you know, 55, 80. Yeah, you could get 80, 50. I wouldn't even sneeze for that. 100 grand. Yeah, that's all right. But, you know, the point now, a lot of people are going to go, what? In 6 months, you're telling me, Jude, that you're going to get from being paid 40 grand to 100 grand? Yeah, you are. I'm going to tell you why. Is that, and I can guarantee it, it's the 80-20 rule, right? It's just like Microsoft Word, Excel, you know, 80% of your time working on that product, you're using 20% of the full potential of it, aren't you? It's like driving a car, you know, 80% of the time that you're actually using that car, use it to 20% of its capability. Look at your wardrobe. I bet you wear 20% of your clothes, you know, out of the 100%. 20% is what you use 80% of the time. 20% of the time, right? 20% of your time is at, or should I say 80% of your time is at work. The 20% is doing the other things. It's always the 80-20 rule. So the point I'm trying to make is that if you focus on what is the top 20% topics when it comes to cloud, your role, you'll be able to land 80% of the jobs. You know, it's a formula that's proven and tested many, many times. So anyway, that's the job market. That's what I can tell you. It's good news all around. There's no need to panic. And let's talk about the peaks and troughs, right? So let me just expand on this here. When it comes to anyone applying for jobs or anyone doing anything, what will happen is that when there's a demand at the moment, and there's a huge demand, you know, the huge demand is right here. There's a huge peak in what we're going through. But at some point, there's going to become a recession, a depression of these jobs on the market. Because at some point, that demand is just not going to be there for some reason in the market or lack of funds, something. The point being is that right now is the time to start changing your career if you want to go into cloud. Okay, because we're either at the peak or heading towards the peak. Now, what I can tell you is that as long as you adhere to the 80-20 rule, meaning that you're looking for 80% of things that are popular, right? You'll be able to find a majority of the time that you can actually apply for those jobs and you land them. It's the 80-20 rule. Okay, so what do I mean by this? Is that if you look at what's used 80% of the time, right, 20% of the effort is required for that. So what do I mean? So Azure is popular and AWS. The infrastructure code is popular. So is also when it comes to Kubernetes, Ansible. But out of those things, you need to choose what is popular. Well, it's the cloud technology. Once you understand the cloud technology and you know infrastructure is tool technology, there's nothing stopping you from actually getting a job. Again, a good paying job as well, right? But that's where you need to be able to focus on. When it comes to depression point, and trust me, I've been through 2-3 of them, because my skill is up to date and I know the 20% of things that people are looking for, meaning the infrastructure as code, the networking and everything sort, and the security, you'll be able to waddle through the depression. Is easily done. Okay. And that's basically what you want to do. So what to do for that new job? So what can I say about the new job is this? Don't panic. Try to find yourself in a situation where you can actually start to study and learn the cloud technology. You know, there's so many different forms out there that you can actually learn cloud, but I can tell you this now, is that it's either Azure, AWS, or both, or Google Cloud, doesn't matter. The infrastructure is cloud, as code, really simple as Terraform. That's what's popular, right? If people are asking me what's a programming language that I will learn, it's definitely Python, because Python stretches for everything: data, cloud, infrastructure as code, artificial intelligence, you know, whatever it is there, automation, what can I say? So do what's popular, but at the same time, then you gotta have the dichotomy of doing what you love. Because if you go in the cloud and you find yourself that you're going in for the money, you're going to find yourself in a situation where it may not be the deal in 6 to 12 months time. You want to be able to go into something that's actually very appealing, rewarding, uplifting, exciting, those kind of things. So anyway, I hope my videos helped you. Don't worry about IR35. That's what we talked about, the repeal. Start your own business. You know what I mean? If you're worrying about contracting in or out, don't worry about it. Start your own business. That's the best thing you can do, or join another business, a form of business. I don't know. All I can know is that if IR35 is keeping you up at night, it's time to do something different. Don't depend on the government. Depend on yourself. Job market is buoyant, and if you're looking to transition from one job to the next job, I'm telling you now, there's no time like the present. It's going to be easy. It's very easy at the moment. You can do it. All you have to do is to keep applying and keep going and keep studying. Now, listen to this. When I first started trying to look for my job in IT, in cloud, and everything of the sort, I applied to 150 jobs. I ended up getting 10 interviews. I ended up getting 4 offers. And I accepted 1, of course. But if you can imagine the volume of what I've actually applied for to the interviews I've received and the offers, it's a numbers game. And all I can tell you is this: if you're going for an interview and the first thing you want to do is get feedback. Now, if you're finding that the recruiters are not actually giving the feedback, there's no harm in you asking for the feedback while you're actually in the interview. Because you can actually say to people, look, I do appreciate that we just had this time. It sounds really good. But if I can, in the situation I'm in, feedback takes really long for me to receive. Is there anything that you can tell me now? of how I've actually performed. Some people will say, yeah, you performed well, you know, or some people will say, well, we have a situation where we're a little bit concerned about, you know, this thing or this topic, or you didn't demonstrate this. Say thank you, take that on board, and revise that for the next job. Because with that piece of information, it's quite easy for you to then get that next role, if you see where I'm coming from. You know, because basically they've actually told you what it is that you're lacking. And then for the next job, you can actually demonstrate you're not lacking it. But anyway, I hope that's helped. I hope that's actually been a little bit fun for you. Don't worry about the IR35 stuff. Form a job, form a business. Job market, sweet. Just, you know, study, just do something about it. You know, come up with a formula. But just remember, dedicate 100 minutes or 100 pages of reading, or something of the sort, every single day for you to get where you want to be. And what to do for that next job, just keep applying, you know, just keep on trying to form projects and be able to just form projects and be able to say to yourself, you know what X, Y, and Z is for a business. But at the same time, ask for feedback in your interviews. And that's it. Hope this has helped. Have a good one.